Do you know what righteous means? You know, if you watch kids play for very long, you'll understand what righteous means. Because here's what inevitably will happen. Somebody will cheat or somebody will change the rules of the game to their favor, right? So kids are playing, somebody changes the rules, somebody cheats. What does everybody else do? You cheated! You cheated! He cheated! You did wrong! What happens? When they realize that other person cheated, there is an outcry against it, right? There is something internal that's been violated, and everybody else around goes, we can't do this, this isn't right. Isn't it funny that even we as sinful, fallen human beings still have, and this is the world does, if the world ever admits this, they lose the battle, so the world doesn't want to admit this. Even as sinful, fallen human beings, we have an innate sense of righteousness. We have guilt before God. We have a sense of what righteousness is. And yet what the world wants to do is to cover that up and say, no, the truth is whatever you make it. Righteousness is whatever you decide that it is. It's ever changing. That's too old school to say that truth is absolute. But our very nature, just watching kids, shows that we have an internal sense of what righteousness is. And I believe that part of why John was writing in this way, in the vision that God gave him about the Ancient of Days and this righteous one being in their midst, it wasn't in this sense to convict them. Because you could very easily talk about the Ancient of Days and the books being open and that Ancient of Days being in people's midst and talking about he's coming to judge their sin. That would be a very appropriate application. But here what John is doing is he's saying, no, the Ancient of Days is in your midst. The Ancient of Days is in fact going to bodily return one day, and he is a righteous judge. And so in the midst of this world, when you're experiencing unrighteousness, in the midst of this world, when what you see going on around you is cheater, 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 in the midst of this world, when that sense of just things are undone and it's afflicting you and it bothers you, in the midst of all of that unrighteousness that is going on around you, our hope is that the Ancient of Days is in our midst. He sees and he knows what's going on. He is a righteous judge, and he's going to deal with it. He's absolutely going to deal with it. Sometimes he deals with it now, but we know that when he returns one day, the accounts will be settled.